Now, in today's session, we will see the difference between concurrency versus parallelism. We have already know the definition of parallel computing in that large problem can be divided into smaller tasks and all the smaller tasks are executed at the same time simultaneously to get the final solution. That is the that is the parallelism, and it is considered in the parallel computing. Concurrency is vice versa of the parallel computing. Concurrency is considered in the am I audible? Okay, I was left
Yes,
from
sir.
the meeting due to the internet problem. Okay. Now concurrency is when two tasks can start, run, and complete. It is similar as the parallelism, but in overlapping time period. That is called as the that is called as the concurrency. And term parallelism means same as the parallel computing. Refer to the techniques to make a program faster by performing several computation at the same time. Means similar, more than one task can be executed but at the same time, not at a overlapping time. Overlapping time means लक्षात आलं असेल पुढे मागे. Overlapping means not simultaneously all the tasks can be executed. There should be a interrelation between the tasks. There can be a time difference between the time means overlapping. And parallelism is parallel computing. This is the basic difference between the concurrency and parallelism. We have one more difference. Concurrency is occurred in sequential operation, sequential computation. Parallelism is used for parallel parallel computation. You can see the difference between the concurrency and parallelism as per the diagram. In this diagram, we have already seen that diagram in the previous session. You can see there are large problem divided into number of smaller parts, and all parts are trying to execute it concurrently by the single processor. This is the this is the example for concurrency. Here you can see more number of tasks are executing through the single CPU. Means in sequential computation there can be only single CPU, and executing all tasks are executing but not simultaneously. There can be a overlapping time or interlude time between the all the tasks. So it might take a more time to execute the particular application. This is the concurrency. Now in second diagram, here you can see large problem divided into smaller part, but each task is assigned to the separate CPU. Means there are 4 CPU. We can say the core CPU. So there are four four core available in the uh, single microprocessor. Four core available in the single microprocessor. If there are multiple tasks, or if there are large problem divided into multiple tasks, then some equally tasks are assigned to the separate CPU. So this is the parallelism, but here you can see all the tasks are executing simultaneously. There is no overlapping time between the tasks. If 4 core are there, then 4 tasks will be executed simultaneously. But in concurrency, only one task can be executed. So this is the basic difference between the concurrency and parallelism. As per the concept, you can make the differentiate between concurrency and parallelism. In concurrency, more time required to execute. In parallelism, less time are required to execute. But parallelism is mm, uh, little bit difficult and cost is more. In sequential, cost is less. More hardware are required in the parallelism. Less hardware are required in the sequential. So in university question paper, they can ask the difference between the sequential computing and parallel computing, or they can ask the difference between the concurrency and parallelism. Both are same. Okay, fine. Let's go for the next topic, that is the parallel programming platform. Parallel programming platform. I tell you one thing. In the we are studying the high performance computing. Means in every unit, in every topic, we should know about the parallel computing, parallel programming. So if we want to use the parallel computation, then for parallel computing or parallel computer, we need a parallel algorithm. And if you have to implement the algorithm, means you must know about the parallel programming. You must know about the parallel programming. So in that, we are going to see the parallel programming platform. Platform means parallel computer or infrastructure which support the parallel computing is called as a platform. But platform won't be work without help of the programming or algorithm. To implement the algorithm, we need a parallel programming. So in that, to write a programming, we have to give the sufficient information to the platform to implement the program. Means developer or programmers who are going to implement the algorithm for the particular parallel programming platform, they should know about the user requirement, or they should know the information about the specific platform to write a efficient programming for the particular parallel platform. Because we do the programming in our practical session, but we implement the program as per our problem statement. We don't implement the extra part for our practical. So same in the parallel programming platform, as per the platform, we have to implement the programming or algorithm. So first of all, developer or programmer should know what is the requirement. So here you can see, in the traditional logical view of sequential computer consists of memory connected to the processor via data path. In computer organization, in second year you have already studied computer organization. Means in that you have seen SIMD, MIMD, single instruction, multiple data, multiple instruction, multiple instruction, single data. These are the computer organization models. So in the traditional, there can be a sequential computer. Sequential computer means it consists of the different 3 components, that is the processor, memory, and data path. While drawing any infrastructure of the IT, we need of processor, memory, and data path, because it is a combination of the any computer. So in traditionally we use the sequential computer, and there are three important parts: processor, memory, and data path. Processor which process the instruction, memory which store the instruction or which provide the instruction as per the need to the processor. Data part means that it can be a network hardware, or it can be a cable. That cable can be a address bus, data bus, whatever. So that is the data path. Means data path provide the interconnection between the processor and memory. But in the but there is the main drawback of the sequential computer is that bottleneck operation. Bottleneck operation, just we have seen the concurrency. In concurrency, large problem divided into multiple tasks, but only one task can be executed at same times. Why? Why? Because there is only single CPU. Because there is only single CPU. Due to the single CPU, bottleneck problem can be occurred in the sequential computer, in the traditional. So to to overcome the problem of sequential computer, we have to see the some some other techniques or strategy, to develop or to implement a parallel computer. Second, the main objective is to provide sufficient detail to the programmer to be able to write a efficient code on the variety of platforms. As I told you, if you want to implement any program, then we should know the problem statement. If I tell you implement any parallel algorithm, but I have not given any problem statement to you, so you are not able to implement the proper code. First of all, you will ask me, sir, tell us the problem statement. What task is to be performed? Then only you can implement the actual code. So same in that first main thing is that we have to provide the sufficient detail to the programmer to write a efficient code on the variety of platform. So in computer organization, you may have studied the computer organization platform, that is the SISD, single instruction, single instruction, multiple data, SIMD, like this. To implement a parallel algorithm or to implement parallel programming, we need these two concepts, pthread and OpenMPI. Pthread means parallel thread, OpenMPI, open message passing interface. These are the utility or strategy which you are going to use in the प्रोग्रामिंग ऑफ HPC. तुम्हाला जे LP1 चं प्रॅक्टिकल आहे त्याच्यामध्ये जी कोडिंग करायची थोडीफार, जास्त नाही, त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला इन दॅट यू हॅव टू यूज द pthread and OpenMPI. Next, in parallel platform, there is one another concept, implicit parallelism. Implicit, you may know the word implicit and explicit. In programming language, we have already studied the implicit function and explicit function. Implicit means no need to write code for that particular function. It is automatically executed by the system. It's called as a implicit. If you have to write something, to run that particular code, it's called as the explicit. So let's see the implicit parallelism. A programming language is said to be implicitly parallel if its compiler or interpreter can recognize opportunity for the parallelization and implement them without being told to do so. आलं लक्षात implicit parallelism काय आहे? Implicit in that compiler or interpreter. Compiler and interpreter are the system programming tool. Compiler or interpreter are the system programming tool. So they no need to tell how to run the code. Compiler and interpreter are responsible to execute the code or to perform the internal parallel operation. Sometimes we run the code in our computer system. We just click on the run button. We just click on the run button and compiler execute our Java code. But in that you can see while while executing the Java code, we open the IDE. But in IDE we create a class file. We give the input file. These are the multiple tasks. This our program is divided into some other part. But when we simply click on the run button, automatically on the background side, compiler implicitly perform the parallelism. How it access our main file .java file, then automatically it create a class file, automatically it create a object file, it create a executable file, and finally after creating all the file, after performing linking between the multiple file, it give us a result. So this is called as the implicit parallelism. I'll give you one more example. Execution of any programming language. Execution of any programming language. In that, you have already studied system programming. So in system programming, you may have studied the execution of the program through the compiler. We have source code C program. We have source code C program. We pass C program source code to the compiler. Compiler take the input as a C program and it pass the C code to the preprocessor. Preprocessor, as we know in the C programming, hash is the preprocessor. So preprocessor recognize the hash and it reprocess the data and it generates the pure C code. It generates the pure C code means in that C code we have used some inbuilt function, printf, scanf, void main, but we have not written any programming for that inbuilt function. But coding for that inbuilt function is already written in the preprocessor. So preprocessor takes the C code, it again add the preprocessing coding for the inbuilt function, and then it generates the pure C code. And preprocessor transfer the code to the compiler. Then compiler takes a code generated by the preprocessor. In compiler pass the code to the assembler. Are you getting? Compiler pass the code to the assembler in assembly language. What does assembler do? Assembler convert the assembly code into the machine code. It convert the assembly code into the machine code. Means, have you already studied the microprocessor programming in TAJAM? When you run the .asm file, which file is generated? Anyone can say? If
.h file or .c file.
If you run .asm file by using the assembler, then assembler generate one file. Which file?
.h file.
.h? No. ASM. I am asking about the assembler. Assembler बद्दल विचारतोय मी की assemblerला आपण .asm फाईल दिली आणि आपण टाकलं TAJAM program 1.asm आणि एंटर केलं. कोणती फाईल जनरेट होते? कोणाला सांगता येईल?
Object file.
When you try to object file, perfect. Object file. आठवा बघा तुम्ही जेव्हा रन करतात ना ASM नंतर पहिले ऑब्जेक्ट फाईल रन होते, मग आपण त्याच्यानंतर लिंक वापरतो T-link. Then we perform the linking operation and then linking operation create a executable file. So in that assembler convert the assembly file into the machine code. But before generating the machine code, assembler generates the object file .obj. Okay, so it generates the .obj. I am telling you implicit processor automatically on the background side it generates multiple files, and after generating the multiple file, it combines all the files together to give us a final result. So assembler generates file, but assembler can generate the multiple object file. If suppose in your C program there are 4 modules, add, sub, mul and div. लक्षात आलं, सी प्रोग्राम मध्ये तुमचे 4 मॉड्यूल आहे. तर 4 मॉड्यूल साठी तो it create a 4 object file. So after generating object file, compiler perform the which operation? Can you say anything about that? सिस्टीम प्रोग्रामिंग मध्ये तुम्ही शिकले असाल बघा, फेजेस ऑफ कंपायलर. ऑब्जेक्ट फाईल जनरेट झाल्यानंतर कोणतं ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म होतं? विच ऑपरेशन इज टू बी परफॉर्म आफ्टर जनरेशन ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट फाईल? सांगता येईल कोणाला? ओके. आफ्टर generation of object file, compiler will perform. If there can be a multiple object file, then compiler having a tool linker link to the multiple object file or multiple module linked together. After linking, which operation will be performed? सांगता येईल का कुणाला? लिंकिंग नंतर कोणतं ऑपरेशन असतं?
यस सर, हायर लेवल कोड कन्वर्टेड इनटू लोअर लेवल कोड.
नाही, तुम्हाला एसक्यूएल आठवत नाही का? प्री प्रोसेसर, असेंबलर, कंपायलर. आता आपण कुठे होतो? कंपायलर कडून कुठे आलो? असेंबलरने काय केलं? ऑब्जेक्ट फाईल क्रिएट केली. ऑब्जेक्ट फाईल क्रिएट झाल्या म्हणजे मल्टिपल ऑब्जेक्ट फाईल असू शकतात. त्या कंबाईन केल्या. तर त्या कंबाईन केल्यानंतर तो कोण कंबाईन करतो? लिंकर. इथपर्यंत आलो आपण. आता लिंकर नंतर कोणता टूल यूज होतो ते सांगा.
लोडर.
व्हेरी गुड, लोडर. राईट. यू आर इन BA, so that's why I am explaining in detail. Actually this is not part of our syllabus. तुम्ही BA ला आपल्याकडे खूप वेळ आहे म्हणून मी एक्स्ट्रा सांगतो. लोडर, after performing linking, we have to load the program into the main memory. आता काय होतं? जेव्हा when compiler perform the linking operation is done in the ROM memory. लिंकिंग ऑपरेशन कुठे होतं माहिती का? ROM मेमरी मध्ये, रीड ऑनली मेमरी, अँड इट इज नॉट इरेजेबल. याच्यामध्ये आपली जी ROM मेमरी असते त्याच्यामध्ये आपला कोड असतो. पण आता आपल्याला जेव्हा लोड करायचं असेल ना, लोड करतो म्हणजे काय? आपल्याला रन करायचा आता कोड. सो लोडर टेक्स इनपुट फ्रॉम दी लिंकर अँड इट लोड द ROM डेटा इनटू द रॅम. लोडर काय करतो? लोडर ROM मधला डेटा कुठे घेतो? रॅम मध्ये घेतो. रॅम इज अ रॅन्डम ऍक्सेस मेमरी. If compiler want to execute the code, then it load the program into the RAM memory. But as we stop execution of the program, automatically again loader swap the program from the RAM memory to the ROM memory. तुम्ही शिकले असेल बघा हे OS मध्ये स्वॅपिंग कन्सेप्ट शिकले असेल. स्वॅपिंग, डिमांड पेजिंग. आपण स्वॅपिंग केली म्हणजे काय? कंपायलरला जेव्हा कोड रन करायचा असतो तेव्हा तो काय करतो? ROM मेमरी मधून रॅम मध्ये ट्रान्सफर करतो, है ना. आणि आपण बघा वरती याचं जावाचा आयडी असतो. आपण रनला क्लिक केलं तर साईडला दोन ऑप्शन येतात, पॉज आणि स्टॉप किंवा स्टॉप ऑप्शन येतो. जोपर्यंत आपण स्टॉपला क्लिक करत नाही तोपर्यंत आपण एक्झिट होत नाही बघा प्रोग्राम मधून. झालं असेल तुमच्यासोबत असं? झालाय कुणाला हा प्रॉब्लेम जावाचे कोड रन करताना?
आयडी वरती होतो सर हा प्रॉब्लेम.
हो, आयडीला सांगतोय. आयडीला जेव्हा बॅकग्राऊंड मध्ये रन होत असताना आपण कधी वरून स्टॉप नाही केलं तर तोपर्यंत दुसरं ऑपरेशन करेक्टली परफॉर्म नाही होत. वी हॅव टू स्टॉप दॅट करंट एक्झिक्युशन, देन ओनली वी कॅन गो फॉर द नेक्स्ट, है ना. हे होत असतं. तर ते का होतं याच्यामुळे की आपण जो प्रोग्राम लोड केला तो रॅम मेमरी मध्ये असतो, म्हणजे त्याची लिंकिंग परफॉर्म होत नाही. वी हॅव टू अगेन स्वॅप दॅट प्रोग्राम फ्रॉम द रॅम मेमरी टू द ROM memory. So come to the main point. Load the program into the main memory, that is the RAM memory. for execution. And to perform the before performing the loading operation, link all the object file and it create the executable file. बघा तुम्ही ASM रन करताना झालं असेल, आपण पहिले ASM फाईल देतो, मग आपण रन करतो, OBJ फाईल क्रिएट होते, त्याच्यानंतर आपण टी लिंक ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म करतो, त्याच्यानंतर डायरेक्टली एक्झिक्युटेबल फाईल क्रिएट होते बॅक साईडला क्रिएट होते बॅकग्राऊंडला, आणि आपण फायनली रन करतो बघा फक्त .asm फाईल रन करतो. फायनली ती .asm फाईल रन करतो म्हणजेच काय, that is the executable file. Same in the C programming, we create a .c file, but when you will go to the TC folder in your C program or whatever, then in bin folder you can see there can be three file will be there, one .c, obj and .batch and .exe. So these three files are created by the compiler. So this after loading the program into the RAM memory, it executes the program and it gives us a final result window. This is the simple execution of any programming language. हे मी तुम्हाला आता जे सांगितलं हे काय आहे, execution of programming language. So any programming language you should know about the execution of programming language. मी सीचं एक्झाम्पल घेतलं, पण कोणती लँग्वेज असेल तर त्याचं एक्झिक्युशन असंच होतं आहे. So main thing is that implicit parallelism. We just write the code and we run the code, but the backside compiler or interpreter perform various tasks. It generates various different file and perform the execution. Another definition for implicit parallelism, it is a characteristics of the programming language that allow compiler or interpreter to automatically exploit the parallelism inherent to the computation expressed by some of the language construct. Same things काय होतं याच्यामध्ये, कंपायलर किंवा इंटरप्रेटर ऑटोमॅटिकली बॅकएंड साईडला एक्झिक्युशन करतं कोणती तरी प्रोग्रामिंग लँग्वेज वापरून. असेंब्ली असेल तर डायरेक्ट असेंबलर कन्वर्ट करतो, तिकडे गरज नाही. पण सी हाय लेवल लँग्वेज असेल तर हाय लेवल लँग्वेज साठी we have to convert the high level language into the low level language. Low level means assembly language. Again assembler convert the low level language into the machine level language, that is a binary language 0 and 1. This is a complete explanation for the implicit parallelism. तुम्हाला फायनल मध्ये एवढं लिहायचं नाही, मी फक्त तुम्ही बीला म्हणून तुमच्या इंट्रोडक्शन साठी तुम्हाला मी एक्सप्लेन केलं की एखादा कोड कसा एक्झिक्यूट होतो. When you was in second year, you may not know about the actual execution, but when you have studied system programming, at least you have got something. What is the execution? What is the compiler? What is the interpreter? How compiler works? In second semester of your Bachelor of Engineering, there is the subject compiler. You have studied some basic part of the compiler in system programming. But in next semester there is a separate subject compiler. In that, how many phases are there in compiler? कोणी सांगू शकतं?
6.
How many phases in 6 phases? So in next semester there is a elective subject, that is the compiler. In that one phase for one unit. पुढच्या सेम मध्ये कंपायलर म्हणून इलेक्टिव्ह सब्जेक्ट आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये एक युनिट एक फेज म्हणजे एक युनिट आहे. असे 6 युनिट म्हणजे 6 फेजेस म्हणजे किती युनिट आहे? 6 युनिट आहे. जेव्हा तुम्ही ज्याला क्लिअर झालं असेल सिस्टीम प्रोग्रामिंग, त्याने कधी कंपायलर हा सब्जेक्ट घेतला ऍज अ इलेक्टिव्ह, तर नॉलेजसाठी तर खूप चांगला आहे. थोडा लिटिल बिट थोडा टफ आहे ऍक्च्युली, थेरॉटिकल काही इतका टफ नाही आहे, करू शकतो, पण लॉजिकल पार्ट आहे. बट इट इज अ व्हेरी युजफुल सब्जेक्ट. You will clear all the idea about the programming language, operating system, hardware part. त्याच्यामध्ये सगळं लक्षात येईल की ऍक्च्युली हाऊ कंपायलर वर्क्स. Implicitly parallel programming. Now implicitly parallel programming. There are Actually, there are two parts in parallel programming. One is the pipelining, and another is the, we can say, another is the vector processor or supercomputer. So first of all, let's see the pipelining. Pipelining is the process of fetching the next instruction when current instruction is being executed by the processor. There are two definitions mentioned in this slide. Process of fetching next instruction when current instruction is being executed by the processor. This is for sequential computer. ही जी definition आहे first, ही कोणासाठी आहे? Sequential computer. Why? In that, pipelining is one process. When one instruction is executing, other instruction is fetching. Both the instruction cannot be executed simultaneously in the sequential pipelining. I will show you complete description with the help of the diagram in the next slide. So don't worry about that. Pipelining is the process of accumulating instruction from the processor through a pipeline. It allows storing and executing instruction in an orderly process. It is also known as a pipeline. Same definition है, फक्त थोडं English statement वेगळी लिहिली. Process of accumulating instruction from the processor through the pipeline means collection of the different instruction through the processor in the pipelining. But in the pipeline, it stores the instruction, and at the time of execution, pipeline just bottleneck the single instruction at a time. And when it releases the one instruction from the pipeline, then automatically pipeline request to the processor to send the next or to process the next instruction. This is the basic concept of pipelining. Student, have you seen this diagram in second year subject microprocessor?
Yes, sir.
or computer organization? CO मध्ये झालाय का हा पार्ट?
Yes, sir.
झालाय ना? हा डायग्राम बघितलाय कधी?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
ओके. जे आहे ग्रुप मध्ये ज्यांना माहिती आहे त्यांनी आन्सर द्या, कारण की मी इथं एकटा बोलत राहिलो तर मला लक्षात नाही ना तुम्हाला काय काय. आणि नसेल येत तर नाही सांगा, मी सांगतो. ओके, दिस इज अ ब्लॉक डायग्राम ऑफ 80886 microprocessor. Okay, so 8086 microprocessor is a sequential computer, not a parallel computer. It is a sequential computer. Now I describe you complete execution of the microprocessor within the 5 minutes. Computer 8086 microprocessor is divided into two parts, that is BIU and EU. EU means execution unit, BIU means bus interface unit. Now in that you can see this is our microprocessor, means CPU, which is placed in our computer system, to memory and input output. To perform the execution through the processor, first of all, microprocessor is need to fetch the instruction from the memory. So this is the memory, means our computer system memory, where we have written the code. So EU, execution unit demand the instruction to the memory, and we know the assembly language. To perform the assembly language, we need of some inbuilt register. So these are the inbuilt register. It requests for the instruction, then BIU fetch the instruction, bus interface unit. By using this data bus, it fetch the data. After fetching the data, you may know the physical address. Here, when we fetch the instruction, it means there can be a logical address. जेव्हा आपण instruction fetch करतो तेव्हा logical address असतो. Logical address इथे आल्यानंतर this symbol indicate the summation. By performing this address generation operation, it generates the PA. PA means physical address. Because when you want to execute the instruction or when you want to pass the instruction to the pipeline, you have to generate the microprocessor have to generate the physical address. So it generates the physical address and it pass the instruction to the queue, and this is a 6 byte queue. It is also called as the pipelining. यालाच काय म्हणतात pipelining. So it is a 6 byte queue. It means simultaneously 6 instruction can be executed, but 6 instruction can be passed simultaneously to the pipeline, but at a time only one instruction can be executed. Why? Because there is a pipeline and you can see there can be a bottleneck operation. Only single instruction can be executed. So you can see when there are total 6 instructions in the pipeline, when one instruction is passed for the execution to the control unit, when instruction number 1 is passed to the control unit for the execution, at same time this pipeline requests to the memory to send the next instruction. So that's why pipelining having a definition: when current instruction is being executed, next instruction is to be fetched. है ना? जेव्हा इथे पहिले एक इंस्ट्रक्शन एक्झिक्यूट होत असते तर ऑटोमॅटिकली 6 बाईटची क्यू आहे, 6 बाईटच्या क्यू मधून एक इंस्ट्रक्शन बाहेर पडली तर ऑटोमॅटिकली मध्ये किती इंस्ट्रक्शन राहतील? 5. मीन्स वी कॅन लोड वन मोर इंस्ट्रक्शन. त्याच्यामुळे जेव्हा पहिले एक इंस्ट्रक्शन इथे एक्झिक्यूट होत असते तेव्हा पाइपलाइनिंग काय करतो? पाइपलाइनिंग रिक्वेस्ट टू द प्रोसेसर फॉर फेचिंग द नेक्स्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन. So in this way it executes the multiple instruction through the pipeline. But there is a drawback of this pipeline in the sequential organization or sequential computation. At a time only one instruction can be executed. So this is the concept of pipelining. Now I tell you the next execution. Pass the instruction to the control unit. Can anyone tell what is the use of control unit in microprocessor? कोणाला सांगता येईल का कंट्रोल युनिटचं काम काय आहे मायक्रोप्रोसेसर मध्ये? Can anyone say what is the use of control unit in microprocessor?
It handles the input and output from the processor.
Okay, fine. Anything else? Think about the instruction. This is a pipelining. Pipelining pass the instruction to the control unit. Now control unit got the instruction. Now what operation?
It interprets and executes the instructions.
Okay, fine.
Sequentially.
Fine. Unmute yourself. I tell you the definition. Control unit control the input output. It is okay. It will interpret. Yeah, right. It will interpret, and in microprocessor language, it will interpret means if suppose there is the instruction add AL comma BL. That is the assembly instruction add AL comma BL. We have passed AL comma BL to control unit. So control unit first of all it will interpret. It will decode the instruction. तो काय करेल माहिती का? कंट्रोल युनिट हा पहिले इंस्ट्रक्शन ला डिकोड करेल मीन्स इट विल सेपरेट द नेमोनिक्स अँड अपकोड. हा काय करेल? कंट्रोल युनिट नेमोनिक आणि अपकोड ला सेपरेट करेल. बघा आता इंस्ट्रक्शन काय आहे? ऍड AL कॉमा BL है ना, बट AL and BL आर दी ऑपरंड अँड ऍड इज अ अपकोड नेमोनिक्स. तर तो काय करेल? ऍड ला सेपरेट करेल आणि AL BL ला सेपरेट करेल. सो इट परफॉर्म द डिकोड ऑपरेशन. Decode, fetch and execute. These 3 operations performed by the control unit. So it decodes the instruction. After decoding the instruction, you can see it pass the instruction to the EU. काय केलं त्याने? add AL, PL ला इथे पास केला. पण ऍड काय आहे? ऍड नेमोनिक्स आहे तर तो कुठे जाईल? ALU मध्ये. पण त्याच्यामध्ये 2 व्हॅल्यू होते बघा. 2 व्हॅल्यू नाही, 2 रजिस्टर होते AL and BL. But AL and BL are the register. But to execute any particular instruction, ALU required a value. So you can see it will send the AL and BL to the register section. Then here you can see AL and BL. So while fetching the instruction from this section, it store the actual value. जसं की बघा आपण सी प्रोग्रामिंग मध्ये असं करतो a इक्वल टू 10, b इक्वल टू 20. आपण कुठे लिहितो हे डिक्लेरेशन पार्ट मध्ये, पण ऍक्च्युअल कंपायलरला जाताना काय जातं, व्हॅल्यू नाही जात. कंपायलरला जाताना जातं a आणि b व्हेरिएबल. पण जेव्हा प्रोसेसर कडे एक्झिक्यूट होत असेल तेव्हा इथे काय आलं a आणि b, पण तो a b नाही एक्झिक्यूट करत, त्याला व्हॅल्यू पाहिजे. तो इथे जातो आणि त्याची ऍक्च्युअल व्हॅल्यू बघतो. इनिशियलाइज जी व्हॅल्यू केली ती काय आहे, ओके AL having a 10, BL having a 20. Then this part you can see by direction it pass the value 10 and 20. आता ALU कडे आला बघा डेटा. ALU ने काय केलं, ALU ने ऍड AL, BL केला. AL ची व्हॅल्यू काय आहे 10, BL ची व्हॅल्यू 20. Now ALU is the arithmetical logic unit. It performs the arithmetic operation, that is the addition. Now it performs add 10, 20. Result is 30. रिझल्ट काय आला 30. मग याने काय केला, हा 30 रिझल्ट बाहेर पास केला. अँड जेव्हा 30 रिझल्ट पास केला, इट परफॉर्म, इट इंडिकेट फ्लॅग ऑल्सो. आता याच्यामध्ये फ्लॅग आहे ऍडिशन. इफ देयर इज कॅरी देन इट विल जनरेट अ कॅरी फ्लॅग. इफ देयर इज अ addition is 0, suppose 0 plus 0 is 0, then 0 flag will be affected. So this is a simple execution of the microprocessor. I am telling you your computer organizational AC part. Why? Because in that we should have a clear idea about the microprocessor, some hardware part, programming language, then operating system, compiler. Then only we can be familiar with the HPC. Again, in 2 minutes, I repeat the procedure. Okay. BIU fetch the instruction from the memory. When it fetch the instruction from the memory, it just fetch the instruction, but actual value are stored in the register. This part generates the physical address and pass the instruction to the pipelining. Pipelining can store the 6th instruction. After storing the 6th instruction, one instruction can be executed by the control unit, and when one instruction executing, it fetch the next instruction. Control unit perform the decode, fetch, decode and execute operation. It decode the instruction into 2 parts, that is the mnemonics, opcode and operand. Then if operand having no value, then it get the value from the register section, then pass the value to the ALU. ALU perform any arithmetic logical operation. After performing operation, it generates the result to the system. Also, it generates the different flag. This is the simple explanation of the microprocessor. And now you got concept of pipelining. But this is a single pipelining, means for sequential operation. In the next section, I will explain you pipelining for parallel computing. For that, there is a concept in HPC, superscalar execution. त्याच्यासाठी काय concept आहे, superscalar execution. Superscalar execution मध्ये काय होतं, there can be 2 pipelining. Simultaneously 2 pipelining can be executed.